What is up, everybody? It's Buzzin' Hockey, and welcome back to another video. If you're unaware, the NHL has officially released its second line and potentially final reverse retro jerseys. And honestly, just first reactions off the top, they hit on a lot of these jerseys. Now, with any set of jerseys, there's going to be a couple of duds. I'm looking at you, Chicago, and mainly Detroit. But I think that overall, they did a very solid job with a lot of these jerseys. Now, just quickly off the top, if you're wondering why I said, why would this be the final line? Well, that's because this is an Adidas line of jerseys, ones that were only done by Adidas, and after this year, Adidas is no longer going to be the jersey provider for the NHL. So it's kind of sad to see this line of jerseys go. I'm happy that we're getting a second line. I thought that a lot of the jerseys for the last one, while they had potential, some of them didn't really hit that well. Mainly Toronto's, to be honest with you. But hey, there's a new set of 32 jerseys to go through here. I'm just going to be giving you my first reaction to it, which ones I like, which ones I don't. I'm not a design artist or anything. I'm looking at them for what they are. If there's a jersey that you like and I don't, your opinion is automatically wrong, obviously. And so with that, let's get into it. So the Anaheim Ducks reverse retro jersey is actually based off of, I believe, their original design from 1993-94. If you look at their original design, it's got the purple on the bottom, but this one here has the original logo, but instead of the original colors, they put on the colors that they have today. Now, this jersey right here, I could honestly see a variation of this becoming their home jersey at some point. I believe that they really hit. The colors are perfect. I really like the white. And for some people, white might not do it, but I believe that having less on a jersey can sometimes be to its benefit. It's simple, it's clean, it has an iconic hockey logo on it. The diagonal makes it different from a lot of the things we see, and I'm a big fan of this jersey. So I guess we'll do a number rating for this thing. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I'm a big fan of this one here. Next up is the Arizona Coyotes jersey, and by the way, I'll put them all up over here in editing, so there's no reason for me even saying that because it's going to be like right here or right here, one of the two. But yeah, the Arizona Coyotes, they went with that old look. I believe it was their alternate from 1998 to like 2003 or 4, something like that. It's with the cactuses and stuff on the bottom. And then I believe it was a inspiration for their earlier reverse retros or something like that. But in this one here, as opposed to their earlier, it's orange instead of green. I don't really know how to feel about this one, to be honest with you. Like, I really like just the face of the Kachina logo on it. I like the bottom with the cactuses and the mountains on it. But I don't know, it's just kind of orange, if that makes any sense. And if you like it, that's fine, like more power to you, but I don't know, it really doesn't do it for me. This isn't one that I would really see myself wanting, if I'm being honest with you. The last one that they made, I thought that was one of the best ones that came out of that set, but this one, I'm not a big fan of. So giving this 1 out of 10, I'll see what they're going for, so I'll give them a 5. Next one is the Boston Bruins, and they infamously bring back the Paddington Bear, or the Meth Bear as he's known as. These ones are really nice, I'll be honest with you. The Meth Bear really doesn't do it for me. I'm not a big fan of it. I know he's a fan favorite among Bruins fans. I'm obviously not a Bruins fan. But yeah, it's a different look for Boston, definitely, as it was back then. All they really did was reverse it, so it's white. It used to be a yellow. I'm a fan of it. I just don't like Paddington Bear. It's a little too realistic for me for a hockey logo. I like the striping on the bottom, that jagged striping in the brown and the yellow. And overall, I'll give this one I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I'm not a fan of the logo, but just the complementary details to it, I believe, are really nice. Even that little Bruins patch on the side, it just says Bruins. I like that a lot. This next one up is one of my favorites alongside the Anaheim one, and it's the Buffalo Sabres. They hit on everything here. It's white, it's sleek. They brought back the goat head, one of my favorite logos in all of sports. They have this nice, almost diagonal, like loopy stripes coming down the sides in both blue and yellow. I just realized that it's actually just a reverse of their goat head jerseys, which makes it even better, but they're just using modern colors that they're using now. And my, oh my, am I a fan of this. This is incredible. This one going away for me is a 10 out of 10. I don't even care. I love this jersey. Next one up is the Calgary Flames, who infamously bring back the Germany jerseys. So I'll put a picture up here of the original Germany jerseys. As you can see in the striping that comes up, there's a Germany flag in there. But Calgary reverses it here. They bring it back, but they reverse it. Once again, I don't really know how to feel about this one. It's a decent design, I'll say that. I know these ones will sell because it's the Flames, and they just have that iconic logo to them. But to be fair, it's not really my style. Like, the striping coming up is really cool, and the whiteout Flames logo is also really cool. I'm not a fan of the black on the red, and especially with that like yellowish goldish in there. So I'll give this one a 6 out of 10. The Carolina Hurricanes actually did something really cool with theirs, and I actually have the jersey that it is based off of, I believe. So I know I could pass as an Avs fan right now, but I believe it's based off of this one right here. It's one of their original jerseys when they won the Stanley Cup. If you look on the actual jersey itself, you will see that they bring back the Storm flags on the bottom, but instead they put the Canes watermark along the side. They also made these blacked out. They made these sleeves over here red. They just basically flipped the jersey around and put the watermark on it. And I know for the Calgary one, I said that I wasn't a fan of the red on black, but for this one, the reason why it works is because it has that separation. It has that white separation in between the black and the red that I'm a big fan of. Unlike a lot of people, I do really like the word mark Canes that goes diagonal, and I like how they have that little storm flag on the C there. I'm a big fan of these. I really do like these. I'll give these an 8 out of 10, just like Anaheim. Oof, Maron, Chicago. This is one of the ones I roasted at the beginning. Not a fan of these at all. I mean, I see what they were going for with these, but just it doesn't work. Here, in my opinion, is what would have made it better. If you brought back that Winter Classic Chicago Blackhawks logo, I'll put a picture of it on screen as well. But if they brought that back and they put that on this jersey, maybe did something like make it in black and white or something like that. I'm just spitballing here, but the Chicago word mark, I'm not a fan of it. I know what these jerseys are based off of. They're based off of a design from 1938 or something like that. But I'm not a fan of it at all. Even the regular Blackhawks logo on the side, it doesn't look like it goes with the jersey. Yeah, I'm not a fan of these at all. I'll give these like a 2 because I do think that there was potential here with the striping. Colorado Avalanche, similar to a couple jerseys. I see what they were going for here. And you have I'm actually wearing Colorado right now. You have this emblem here on the jersey, but it's the colors used on the Colorado State flag. Looking at it now, it's a little better than it was before, but to me, this definitely wouldn't be one that I'd be running to the stores to buy. It has the iconic Avs mountain range, but I don't know, a blue, red, and yellow Avalanche jersey. It seems weird is all I'm saying. It seems a little weird, but all in all, I see what they were going for. I'll give this one a 6 out of 10 because I do appreciate the attempt at design. Now, the Columbus Blue Jackets. This is one that I initially hated on when it came out. But after sitting with it for about 24 hours, which, by the way, this jersey was leaked early, as well as the Chicago Blackhawks one. There was a couple that got leaked early. But honestly, they've kind of grown on me over the last day or so. I know what it's a callback to. It's a callback to, I think, a jersey from like 2003 or 4. That era of Columbus hockey. And yeah, I see what they're going for. It's simple. It's clean. I like the stars here on the wrists and the arms. So I'll give this one a 5 out of 10. It's grown on me, but it's still just kind of empty. Now, another one that I'm a really big fan of is the Dallas Stars, which they're going back to their original logo after their move to Dallas. It's the Dallas Stars logo that was before it had Dallas on it. It was actually the logo used by the North Stars in their final few years in Minnesota. I was always a big fan of that logo. I always wanted to see that one come back. Obviously, Dallas has the one that has the Dallas word mark on the top. This one does not have that, and I'm a big fan of that. I really like the silver. I really like the iconic Dallas like striping like this where it comes up and down in white. And then they have that older shade of Dallas green. It was that darker one before they switched to the victory green, as they call it. So this one here, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's a very solid design. Oh boy, it's Detroit's. I'm not even going to edit this part here. I see what they were going for. It's a callback to the Detroit Cougars, I believe. But it just doesn't work at all. Like, I'm sorry. Like they've missed on both of their reverse retro designs. They gotta hire a new design staff. Oh, there goes my messages. Yeah, they gotta hire a new design staff. They're like a 0 or a 1 even. Like, yeah, these are. Next one, please. My God. Now, the Edmonton Oilers. This was another one that was leaked early. Big fan of this. They bring back the gear logo from the early 2000s. This time, though, they use it in current Oilers colors or currenter Oilers colors. They bring in orange to it. It's still that dark navy blue that was initially used, but they've just kind of flipped the colors. Once again, it's simple. It's good. The numbers are a little lower, kind of like on this Avs jersey, but they're like a little farther down. They're very nice jerseys. I'll give these ones an 8 out of 10. Florida Panthers. Now, they do what I believe to be the most different design of any team. Florida has, I believe, never used this shade of blue, but my oh my, does it work. It's a very sleek yet intricate design. You have the classic diagonal Panthers stripes on the sleeves. The numbers look good. I really like that black numbering that they have on there. And then they're using their secondary logo for it. They're using the one with the sun, the palm tree, and the stick. I'm a big fan of that logo. I would always use that logo if I was creating like a franchise mode in like Orlando or Jacksonville or something like that on NHL 15. This would be one of the jerseys I would love to get my hand on just because it's so different, but it works so well. This is the type of stuff like we want to see from reverse retros where they bring back an iconic look, but they change it in a way that it's different from anything we've ever seen before. And this has to be one of my favorite jerseys I think I've ever really seen. So yeah, I'll give this one right here. This is a 10 out of 10 for me going away. One of my favorites, if not my favorite in the line. Next up, the Los Angeles Kings. They bring back the 1980s yellow and purple crown logo. Lakers colors as we all know them. This is a perfect design. The original one is actually flipped. The reverse retro is now a white version, and my oh my, does this work. You flip the colors, you flip it from gold on purple to purple on gold. This works incredible. LA has done so good with their jersey design crew. There is so many LA jerseys that I really want, and I'm thankful that I actually own one. Next one up is the Minnesota Wild, and correct me if I'm wrong, but these are the exact same jerseys. I would have to pull up a side-by-side of what they used for the last round of reverse retros because I can't point out any like differences. They look exactly the same. Maybe the colors were like flipped on the on like the sleeves, but they look the exact same. Now I know it's obviously a callback to the Minnesota North Stars, but once again, they're sleek jerseys. They're very nice. I'll give them a 6 because they're still very nice jerseys, but we've already seen this before. Like, it literally has to be an exact, like, copy-paste. Like, I have to pull up the two side-by-side to see what the differences are here. Next up is the Montreal Canadiens, and I give them credit for doing something new. Montreal is not a team that we associate with blue. We associate them with red. What they do to challenge that? Baby blue. Now, if I'm correct, this is a callback to the Montreal Expos, the baseball team. If you don't know, they played in Montreal. They're now the Washington Nationals. Now, I don't know if that's the exact reason as to why they chose this, but it's a very nice look. The only thing is, I don't know if the blue, like the dark blue at the center where the Habs logo is, really matches with the baby blue. That's my only critique. I believe it matches on the bottom, but I don't think it matches in the middle. That's just a critique by me. Still, they're a nice jersey, 7 out of 10. I give them a lot of credit for, once again, doing something new. Next up is the Nashville Predators, and they finally bring back the Meth Tiger. It's so ugly that it's beautiful, and thus it has to be on an NHL jersey again. It's not a nice logo. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I'm not a fan of the logo at all. Now, it's basically just the Predators, like, standard jerseys that they have now. They just tossed a Nashville word mark on the top with the Meth Tiger, and then the striping on the sleeves along the bottom is a little different. Even on the back of the jersey, the numbers look to be different. I'll give them credit. This is a 7 out of 10. It's a very solid jersey. Next up is another jersey that got semi-leaked. We didn't see any pictures of it, but we knew the direction that the New Jersey Devils were going in. So the Devils go with a look resembling both the Kansas City Scouts and the Colorado Rockies. The Rockies were the initial franchise in Colorado for the NHL before they moved to New Jersey. The Kansas City Scouts are in that organization as well. They were the first team before they moved to Colorado. And so yeah, these jerseys are really solid. A lot of people thought that, well, how would you make that work with the New Jersey Devils? But in this case, it really works. The New Jersey Devil logo, just how it looks retro, but I can't tell if it's just their logo now, just a little smaller. But I'm a big fan of these. I love the Scout stripes. I believe it's mainly Kansas City Scouts. This is once again another jersey I could see myself buying, see myself wearing, and for that I will give it a 10 out of 10. The New York Islanders, they brought back the Fisherman. They brought back Fisherman's Friend. They brought back Fish Sticks. I'm so happy to finally see him back on a jersey. I wasn't even alive when this guy came into the league. They only wore him for a season, but he made enough of an impact that we're still talking about him almost 30 years later. They didn't bring back the original logo. They changed up the colors a little bit, and there's no more wave on the logo. Instead, it's a diagonal white and orange stripe. The color is obviously not the same as the original jersey, but it's still a solid jersey. If I were being honest with you, it's not my favorite design out of all of them. I'm happy that they brought back the Fisherman. I'm very happy about that. The logo is really what does it here for me. I'm still going to give it a 6 out of 10 because it's not my favorite out of all of them. Next up is the New York Rangers, and oh my goodness, does this look nice. The Lady Liberty, like, you really cannot go wrong with it. I love the striping on the sides. It has that classic look to it from the 90s Rangers with Mark Messier on it. I'm honestly speechless. They did a great job with this jersey. Really love the striping along the sleeves. It's simple, but it works, and that is why I'll give this one a 9 out of 10. It is great. Next up is the Ottawa Senators, who bring back that the Scooby-Doo eye look to it, but it's their current logo on it now. Once again, there's not much to say. These look very similar to their jerseys now. They have that little like kind of splitting on the sleeve. They're solid jerseys. I'll give these ones like a 7 out of 10. They're very solid. Another one that's incredibly solid is the Philadelphia Flyers. Flyers don't really have much of a jersey history. It's mainly just their standard colors. Similar to Montreal, but the Flyers haven't really challenged that look much. It's still standard Flyer logo with white, black, and orange. With that, I'll give this jersey a 5 out of 10. Here's another one, the Pittsburgh Penguins, that I really like. They finally bring back the Robo Penguin jersey, which is inspired by, I believe, their 93 home jerseys. This is once again a very solid design where I looked at it and I said, surely they had to have worn that, which is another point of the reverse retros. We're supposed to look at them and say, they wore those, didn't they? And then they actually didn't. The colors are reversed, things are reversed about it. It's a new jersey, but with the past tied into it. And the Penguins do that perfectly with this one, where I can really look at this and say, I swear I remember seeing the Penguins wear these at some point. With that, the Penguins, once again, they rarely miss on jerseys. This, to me, is an easy 9 out of 10. The San Jose Sharks, once again, this is another one that did get leaked a little bit early. They bring back the Oakland, Bay Area, California Seals / Golden Seals. They had a lot of names. Hockey in the Bay Area, that was the first team that was actually there. They bring back an old NHL logo that we haven't had really any reference to since 1968-69. The team didn't exist for that long. I believe they only existed for like 8 or 9 seasons, something like that. But to pay homage to them in this way and to bring them into the modern day, where being the NHL's first exposure to hockey out west, they're definitely a staple in the history of hockey. So yeah, these jerseys are solid. I feel like I just did a whole history rant here, but these jerseys are solid. They're nice. They're clean. These right here are a 9 out of 10. They're great. I could see myself wearing a jersey like this. Next one is the Seattle Kraken, who were kind of in a tough spot if you think about it. Like, they only came into the league a year ago. How are they going to do a reverse retro? They have like no history at all. I'm not really a fan of the look here, to be honest. I really like the teal on teal with the Kraken logo, with the separation by the black, and how it looks like it's almost kind of submerged, which if that was intentional, that's actually really cool. Not my favorite design. If you like it, more power to you. I'll give these ones like a 5 or a 4. The St. Louis Blues have a very interesting design when you look at it, where these jerseys was actually a prototype from like 1967 or 66. Obviously, these never ended up being worn. They were actually worn during, I believe, like a skills competition for a Winter Classic a few years back. But this is very cool. I really like this. I'd never seen a logo like this before. I'd actually even heard of this before it got leaked. The logo did at least a couple of days ago. And I'm a big fan of this. This is a jersey that it's very stripy, but it does it right. It looks retro. It looks classic. I will give it an 8 out of 10. It's a very nice logo. It's a very nice design. The Tampa Bay Lightning bring back the Thunderstorm jersey with their reverse retro, one that was deemed as, once again, another one of those jerseys where it's so ugly that it's nice. It's got the classic Tampa Bay logo with rain and lightning and waves all over it. There's so much going on, but it's still such a clean jersey. This is, out of all of them, one that I would really love to pick up. A nice touch that they didn't have to do this for it to be nice was the fact that the numbers are actually like, they've been like electrocuted. They've been like struck by lightning, which is a really cool touch to it. These are, once again, another one of those jerseys. I really want this. I want this badly. Tampa now has hit on both of their reverse retros. This right here is going away for me a 9 out of 10. Next up is the Toronto Maple Leafs, and this one here, it's a solid jersey. That's really all I can say about it. It's a callback to, I believe, what they wore for their 75th anniversary or something along those lines. I believe those 71st anniversary were actually based off of like jerseys from the 60s or something like that. But yeah, these are very nice jerseys. I really like that old Leafs logo. We haven't seen that Leafs logo in a long time, and I'm happy to see this one finally come back. There's not much on the jersey. There's just a couple stripes and then the number and the name, but it works. That's a classic Leafs jersey. This one for me is an 8 out of 10. Next up is actually the one that first got leaked, and it was the Vancouver Canucks reverse retro. Seeing it now, it doesn't look as bad as it was initially made out to be. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not my favorite out of the bunch, but it's definitely not the worst. It kind of falls middle of the pack for me. I like the cool Johnny Canuck. Nice to see him on the front of a jersey. The green with the old-looking white is actually really cool. The number on the front, that's very Buffalo Sabres of them to do. But yeah, these are solid jerseys. I'll give this one like a 6 out of 10. Next up is the Vegas Golden Knights, and these are another one of my favorites out of the set. Now, once again, like Seattle, Vegas doesn't have much of a history to go off of. This was the same case with their original reverse retros, where I believe they based it off of a minor league team that used to be in the area. Now, the cool thing about this jersey, if you read a little bit into why the Vegas across the chest, why the word mark, and by the way, it's very well done. This is a perfect example of when a word mark could work. It's actually based off of like hotel signs from the 90s where they would be on a diagonal or like in like a little loop. It's a very cool concept, and I remember watching and listening to how some of the teams are going to challenge what a reverse retro means, and this is one of the examples of it where Vegas doesn't really have a history, but this looks like a vintage look for Vegas. This looks like if Vegas did exist in the 80s or the 90s. They did a very good job with this, and these are going away one of my favorites. These are another 10 out of 10 for me. Next up is the Washington Capitals, and these are really solid jerseys and really show what a reverse retro is all about, where I'm looking at this and I'm like, didn't they wear these? Now, they've worn the Screaming Eagle before. They wore that during their last reverse retro where they used basically the modern colors that they're using now on that logo, or the ones that they used during like the 70s and 80s. But these jerseys here, this is a very sharp look for the Capitals. I've always really liked that early 2000s look with the early Ovechkin era where they wore those blue jerseys with the diagonal capitals on it with the Screaming Eagle. This to me is another 9 out of 10. They did a very good job with this one. And then finally with the Winnipeg Jets. This is another one of those jerseys that kind of falls in the middle for me. It's a sleek look, don't get me wrong, but I feel like we've just seen like the same thing every time with the Jets, just different colors and variations. But yeah, there's not much really else to say with this one. It's a nice jersey, don't get me wrong. I'll rank this one like a 6 out of 10 just because it's still a nice jersey, but I feel like Winnipeg needs to do something different. We can't just keep going back to the same two logos each time. And so with that, those are my official reactions to the NHL 2.0 reverse retro line. This is a very solid line of jerseys overall. And it's sad if this is the last time that they do this because, like I said, Adidas is no longer going to be the jersey sponsor. If this is the last time they're doing it, this is a great way to send out the line because this time they really put almost everything into it, unless you're Detroit's designers. Unless you're Detroit's designers who just, I guess, just don't know how to design jerseys anymore. But yeah, if you like the video, leave a like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. It's Buzzin' for Muzzin'. You already know what it is, and I will see y'all next time.